The skies turned black where once the forests lay, as Toba's breath erased the light of day. A winter stretched for decades, deathly pale. The trees stood blackened, all green things fell frail. Across the ash, two remnants wandered near, both close to man and both undone by fear. And from the brink, two species crawled toward flame, each fewer now and none who stayed the same. Neanderthals with shoulders hewn from stone, and sapiens with voice to bind the known. They met not on the field, but in the cave, where sharing warmth became the way to save. No clash, no conquest, just the common cold that drove them near when both had lost their hold. Their world had shrunk to just the will to live. They mingled not to take, but to forgive. And in that loss, a fragile bond was born, of mismatched genes and children yet forlorn. They tried all paths that flesh and hunger knew. Some unions died, while some just staggered through. And though the years have pruned what once had grown, the myth remembers more than bone alone. Neanderthal men took sapiens to bed. Their daughters lived, though sons were often dead. These sibyls bore sparks that centuries could keep, a whisper soft that passed in legends deep. Their blood survives in quiet, scattered thread, in living hands that long outlived the dead. No fathers stayed, no names were carried down, but fragments slept beneath each modern crown. Yet some sought wombs in stone Neander thighs, where heroes cast their seed in desperate tries. Those children rose too wide, too strong, too wild. The sacred rites of death itself defiled. Too vast to bear, too fierce to ever tame, their breath was storm, their eyes a burning flame. As the liger in the tigress wombs expand, too vast to live, too fierce for time to stand. They lived in myth, though genes could not endure, in stories scrawled on cave walls deep and pure. The Nephilim, the giants, beasts of lore, too much of man, and something even more. From mothers carved by ancient winter's rule, came beings no soft cradle yet could school. The lines they bore collapsed beneath their weight. Each titan fell, and opened was the gate. The genome purged what could not bear its tune, but memory danced beneath the molten moon. One path gave rise to songs that still remain. The other shaped the whisperings of pain. 50,000 winters passed that way, each breath a vote for who would get to stay. And in our blood, that ash still gently falls, the whisper of those narrow ancient halls. So when we ask whose hands first shaped our kind, look not to stars, but laws of life aligned. The rules that turned one spark into a flame, unseen, untouched, that gave our species name. We are the torch passed down from hands once cold, a braid of myths and marrow, fierce and old. In us survive both fragment and refrain, what once could breed and what could still explain.